Good morning, YouTube. So today we're going to be installing a 12-volt solution remote start kit. I'm going to kind of start by going over the box, telling you a little bit about the kit, why I got this kit specifically, and then here, once it's bright outside, we'll hop out there and start installing it. It's currently about 5:30 in the morning on New Year's Eve, so it's a little dark outside still. But this kit I purchased December 16th, if it'll focus, December 16th, 2021. They shipped it next day, came a couple days after that. This is for my fiance's 2016 Prius. She works pretty far from her car and it's cold outside in the mornings, so she wanted to have a way to start her car before actually getting off work and going out to her car. Now, for most of the 12-volt solution kits, they offer 3 levels of the kit. The first level is just one that uses your stock fob for your car to determine how to start the car. So with that comes the downside of it only works for the same distance as the fob itself. So she works a little far from her car. That wasn't going to be a good solution. The second tier is a tier where it works with an aftermarket long distance fob. They say it works up to 2,800 feet with a good line of sight. Once again, for her application at her job, that wasn't quite enough. So I ended up going with the highest level of this kit, which is an app controlled kit. I believe it's about $40 a year for the subscription. You can start it, stop it, lock, unlock, and find where your car is all from the app. So that's the one I went with because it was what would work for hers. If I was going to get one for myself, I don't need a long range for most of my things, so I'd probably just get the standard kit that uses the stock fob, or I might get the upgraded one if they're running a decent sale, but that's kind of my idea. Now, for this kit, it is the 2016 to 2019 Toyota Prius plug and play. That was the big reason I got 12-volt solution, is it's supposed to be no cutting, no soldering, nothing like that. It came out to, it's not focusing very well, but $479 before tax, $490 after tax. They were running a 10% off sale, so I got like $50 roughly off of the price that you see here. It came out to about $430, $435, something like that. But just to kind of go over what's in the box, you get a nice looking box, which if you're buying this as a gift, it's obvious what it is if they know anything about the 12-volt solution brand, but just a nice little box here. Inside you have your harness that will plug in and work between your vehicle and your remote start system, which is in this little bag. If you get the app version, it comes with an app module and some cabling to do that. It comes with some zip ties, because everybody needs zip ties, and a promotional microfiber towel. But then the nice thing is it comes with this, and it says go to support.12volts.solutions, and if you go there, it shows all your orders. So in this case, I clicked on the 2016 to 2019 Toyota Prius, and it comes up with like a bunch of videos about different parts of the system, some stuff that might be confusing. It goes over what all the different plugs on the harness are and stuff like that. So it's kind of a good thing if you're getting stuck or have any questions. I assume that for whatever kit you buy, there'll be a video for it. So even if you can't find the video for your car on YouTube, you should be able to find it there. But I'm going to go ahead and take out this wiring harness. I'm going to just write in Sharpie on each of the connectors what the connector is, and then I will get back with you guys. Okay, so I got the main wiring harness pulled out and kind of done up how I need to have it done. I wanted to kind of go over it before I tape a couple things down. So starting over here on this side, this will be your OBD2 going where your factory slot is. It will go up into the OBD2 connector, and then this should go down to your stock OBD2. So essentially what this does is it sits between right on the bottom of your dash where your OBD2 connector is and then the wire behind it. And this just pulls power. So all you have coming off of this is a red and black. And then it kind of tees off to this other connector that's got a bunch of colors with it. That connector doesn't matter in our case. So that's going to be one of the ones. I'm going to fold it down, wrap some tape around it so it's not rattling behind my dash. Up next, we have the slightly smaller but more colorful connectors, which go to the BCM. So this one here, with like the little U shape on the top, will go to the BCM module. This one that is a little more open will go to the BCM wire. So you unplug the wire from the module, plug the wire into this side, take this side, plug it into the module. All easy. We have a couple cables here. The green, red, yellow are not used, and it's labeled not used. So I'm just gonna fold those back and tie those off probably. I'll wrap them individually just to make sure nothing, because they do have a little bit of a, like you can see the wire in the tip. So I'm gonna wrap each of those individually, then wrap them back to get them out of the way. This one says hybrid only. I'm gonna have to research if the car uses that one. It wasn't specified in their video yet, so I'll see. Moving down further, we have all these connectors on the end of the loom, and these all go to the remote start system. You cannot plug these in yet. Apparently you have to do all the other stuff, and then at the end when you're programming your module here, then you'll plug those in a specific order according to how they want it done and all this other stuff. Don't know. Coming back here, there is a blue connector labeled app module. Since I do have the app module, that will be used down the road. I'm not going to plug that in right now. And then the other thing is there are some cables here. So this is TL8B, TL2C, I believe this is. If I can get it open. Yeah, that's TL2C. And then this is TL6A. So all you really need to care about is this is A, this is B, this is C. This will not be plugged in at the start. But for the 2016 to 2019 Toyota Prius, you take the B. So go ahead and take the B, plug it in, click it, and then just kind of take all these here, push them down, push them down, and we'll tape those up once again so they don't rattle. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some electrical tape, tape up all the stuff I was just talking about to make this cleaner and easier for us here when we go to do the install. Okay, so a couple quick pieces of tape later. That first one that I said we don't use on the Toyota Prius, just went ahead and folded it back, taped it up. Then we have where we selected the one of the three connectors to plug into the host cable. Plug that in. I first wrapped the connector in the host cable, and then I wrapped all of them together just to make sure that the one that I connected together is not going to pop apart. And then coming way down to the end of the connector, we had the three wires that aren't used along with the hybrid only that might be used. So I went ahead and taped up each of the three individually, folded them back, taped them down. So now we just have this one sticking up. Now we at least don't have to worry about all these other cables. We have everything lined up. We still have the app module sticking out for us and everything nice and easy. Now for our video, it only works for the Fortin controller that looks like this. So if it looks like the other ones, the starting up and syncing procedure will be different. But for the 2016 and newer Prius, as well as the 2019 and newer Prius Prime, it should look like this. Now, if you have the phone module, you'll have in your box or your little baggie that has your module parts, you'll have this box as well as this wiring harness. You take the one that fits, plug it into this, and there is three connectors on the other end that are each labeled differently, DEI something, and then Fortin. For our need, we only use the one labeled Fortin. So these two, once again, I'm going to pull back and tape off so we don't have any confusion. So once you get first inside the car, the first step is to pull this little panel off. All you do is just grab it right on the top there, pull it and kind of pull it out to the side and then pop it out. You have two little connectors in the back, take those off. From there, you pull off this side panel here, which is a good idea to have something like a pry tool or a small screwdriver. Just slip that up in there. Pull that panel off. And then all you have is this panel here, the bottom one. You're going to pull out and down and then kind of use the pry tool to pop it there. If you want to take it all the way out, it's a lot more of a pain because you have to take this off and then this off because there's a bolt back here. Whoops, sorry, bolt back here. But it's not needed. You have plenty of access without doing that, so you can just grab here, pull down, and then just tuck your pry tool like right there to hold it down. Now, I'm gonna move these out of the way so we don't get stuck on them. Pull this back to give us a little more room in here. Now you have your OBD2 connector down here, and actually I'm gonna use this pry tool again real quick. So what you're doing is you're coming up on the side here, and there's a little tab. If you push that tab in and then push the OBD2 connector up, it'll sit right up there. Just kind of push it off to the side and push it all the way up there. We're just gonna leave that like so. Go ahead and put this pry tool back because that should be all we need for it at the moment. We're gonna go to the passenger side and pull out the glove box real quick. Glove box is super easy to pull out in this car. You just go ahead and drop it down. There's a little leg over here. Just pull it out, pop it off. And then you push in on this side, so pull in and bring it down. It kind of pops a little loose. Do the same thing over here. Push in. And technically it's clipped up on these, so I was hoping it would have held. It did not hold. But what that does is, on this connector up here, we're gonna go ahead and get that out. Nice thing to have is a little pick like this. Just go up in there and you pull down on this, pops that out. Pull that down, pull the connector out, and there you go. So what we're gonna be going to is, we turn on my light. So on that one that we just pulled, you have the blue wire up at, oh, okay, so you got like the blue wire here, and then you have a blank, and then you have a black and white, and then you have an all black. The all black is the one we're gonna do. They give you a vampire clip in the kit to do it, but first we have to pull the cable from the driver's side, so we're gonna do that real quick. So you can take anything like a wire clothes hanger, or I have a like little snake thing for picking up bolts that fall, and you just tuck it right back in here, and it just runs straight across there. There's a nice big gap, no moving parts up there. Makes it super easy. Apparently this does not snake well if you're coming from the other side. So, or coming from this side to the other side. So make sure that if you're doing this, you are going from passenger to driver. Now, the video they did was the 2019 Prius Prime, which doesn't have this piece, this bottom panel that goes all the way across, so we are going to have to get that off, and I'll figure that out and let you know. But okay, so for that panel on the bottom that's not on the Prius Prime, there is just a Phillips screw there and a Phillips screw on this side. You pull that out and then pull it forward, it pops out of this clip. And at that point, we should be able to see this, the piece that we fished from the other side. So let me see if I can find that.
It's pressed against something.
It definitely sounds like it's over here. Oh, okay. It just went farther than I expected. Actually, okay, you're good there. You're good there.
I'm good there?
Yep. If you're using something firm enough and long enough, it actually came all the way over here. So I didn't even have to take that bottom panel off. I was just thinking it was going to be sitting further down. So I guess if you push through and it's got an end like this that you can see, just look in this side where we popped the access panel off, see if you can see it there. From there you take that single long purple that says what, hybrid only. So this would be the part if you're using something like a wire hanger, you'll have to maybe use some electrical tape to hold it. Since I have a little claw piece.
You also want to be careful with the claw piece because it has metal and can damage cables.
That is true. We'll see if it does.
If it was me, I would use electrical tape and wrap this around that and then try to pull it through.
If it pops off, we'll go that route. But I don't think it's going to. It's got a big hole it comes through.
Oh, it does?
There you go. Yeah, it's a wide opening back there.
Look at that. He was right. Doesn't happen very often.
Their video suggested putting the bracket or the splitter into the bracket side first and then attaching the splitter to the original cable. I found it easier to go the other way. So I just went ahead and hooked the splitter into their cable, and then I came down here, clicked it in, and that's now the OBD2 is hooked up, which will give power to our system once we get to that point. Okay, now for the splitter for the body control module. The body control module is, if you look here, it's that one that I unplugged back there. I just took my little body mount piece and got back there. You could also use a small flathead screwdriver or a pick. The clips on the left hand side just kind of push in toward the piece as you pull out. Go ahead and put the cable into your splitter, and then you take the original or the other end of the splitter and that got in your way of seeing stuff, and you then fish it back there into the original spot, which, give me a second. There you go, got it lined up. Just push it back in there. And now you see it's beeping again. That's that connection. We got the OBD2. The only connection we have left that we have to do right now is the connection on that.
And we're back.
So against our better interest, we decided to try out the Vampire and Spade clip that came with the kit. The biggest reason is I really bought this kit because it said no splicing, none of that, because I don't like splicing on stuff. And I know they recommend the other thing, but this glove box took all of 10 seconds to drop out with me recording. So we're going to see if their kit works as they say. And if it doesn't, then we'll just have to get back down here and cut this and splice it. So what we did is we put the Vampire clip on the black cable that we talked about earlier, put the Spade clip on the end of this, crunch down both so that you get a good bite, and push it on this, and that should be all we need on this side. Okay, and I did take off to get a little more access. I took off this white clip over here. We'll go ahead and put that back in now, and put this black one back in.
We need to charge this light.
Yeah, now the light's dying. There we go. On your remote start module, you'll have your large white cable plugged in, your little white, your little red. There's nothing in this little white.
It's the third time we've said that.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting good at saying it now. This little black button, press and hold the little black button, plug this in, and it'll start cycling through colors. And it'll go like red and blue and then just blue. Release when it's only blue lit up. It's right there. Now what you'll do is you'll come over here, press your power button twice. So 1, 2. It's not shutting off.
Wait, no.
Oh, there it goes. Okay. So yeah, when you press it twice, the light should go off totally. Ours didn't because I guess we programmed it before, all that stuff. But press the power button twice, light goes off, press the little black button once, and the whole car, or the light.
That means you're paired.
Yeah, and that means you're paired. So at this point we can turn off the car, and theoretically our local remote start should work. So we'll go lock button 3 times. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that turned it on.
Okay.
Remote start works.
So that is where you would stop for your, if you're going with the key fob, and you hear, like, it's a hybrid, so you're not hearing the car very much, but it is turned on now. And it should be, as soon as you open the door, it turns off. Yep.
Now we just gotta hook up the cell phone thing.
So the next step, if you have the app control, is to take your app, have it in clear view of the sky. You'll take the 410. If you remember, there's the 3. We taped the 2 back because we only used the 410 connector. Plug that into the cable labeled app module. And once that's plugged in, this is going to light up red, and then it's going to flash red and green. They say it takes 5 to 10 minutes. For us, it took about 15 seconds. So once you have your solid LEDs, you have your LTE connection to this, it's all plugged in. You're going to hit your unlock button twice and then remove that black cable. Come in here. And then you're going to press and hold, plug this in. And now it's going to cycle through. You're going to want to release when both the blue and the red are lit. So we're going to go through this, blue and red release, and immediately press and hold again until the lights come back on.
Okay.
Now you can release that. Come over here, press your ignition twice. And you're wanting it to flash just like that. And that should be our module paired to our device. So now we're going to go ahead and set up the app and get back to you. For the app, you're going to go to your iOS store or whatever the case is and look up CL6, which I'm sorry, my zoom's not good. Keep in mind, it is not the CarLink BTR that has a very similar logo. It is the CL6. I've already downloaded it, so you'll go in there, you'll create an account. It's going to send you a link to your email that you register to make a password. Make the password, go ahead and hit add vehicle. It's going to ask for the serial off of the app module, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in.
Here he is. He's going to video his screen instead of doing screen recording.
Yeah, you know what? Jarrett said I should keep it all accurate. So next up... Consistent, whatever. So next up, after you put that serial in, you're going to come up with this bypass protocol not set. That's totally fine. And now this is going to be the cable that we plugged in, which, if you see, there's all these different ones. We were the 410. Confirm. And then you're pretty much going to name your vehicle, set up your vehicle, do the stuff. So I'm just going to say, name it Prius. Okay.
The teal tears.
And it's going to ask your model, your make, all that. I'm just going to run through this because it'll be pretty quick and boring for you guys. After you set up the car and your things, it asks for a retailer's phone number, which is not your phone number. You have to put this number. It is 888-880-8838. Once again, that's 888-880-8838. And you have to use that number. So confirm your number, the retailer's phone number you're about to associate the car with, yes. And there you have that. So it's just, this is the number. So you see the car is in test mode right now. So what you're going to do is hit the 3 lines up here, go to My Garage. You're going to press in, release vehicle. When you press release up here, it'll give you 3 options. Make sure you press release. Do not do transfer or cancel. It is release. It's going to disappear from your garage when this is done. And now after it successfully releases, it once again will show you no vehicles. Go ahead and hit your plus. You're going to fill this out once more and go through the steps. Next critical step of this is don't be like us and kill the battery. You have to put a jumper box on it, start the car manually, and pump the gas a couple times for it to start the engine and start charging. Okay, so now that we got the battery charged back up a little bit, we're showing 13.0 volts in the battery. We're going to go and lock the car. Car locks. And then we're going to go ahead and remote start the car. Which it should.
Yep, it just worked.
Yep, and if you guys can see in there, the dash just came on. And the car started up. And we're seeing 12.8 volts on that battery. And handy thing, it gives you a half-hour countdown. So if you leave it running, it shuts off. But it should be as soon as I open this, the car shuts off. Yep. Once again, safety features, if you remote start your car, somebody else comes up and opens it, it's not going to let them drive off with your car. But at this point, it's just a matter of buttoning it back up. This little box is going to tuck up in here, just like so. And your remote app is just going to sit up in the top here. There's not any specific place, just closer to the edge, not surrounded by a bunch of metal's the best. But we're just going to tuck that up in there, button this back up, put that dash, or put the glove box back in, and that's it. So we'll catch you in a second. So I went ahead and got the inside buttoned up real quick. Because of that panel on the bottom on the driver's side, when you pull it out, you have a good chance of popping the hood. So when you're done, make sure the hood's down. Also, the button on there does your gas cap, which I pushed just to verify it works. And then the only other thing is, when you are putting this piece back in here, make sure that you get your cables for all that stuff. But at this point, we should all be done. I'm curious, because they didn't specify on the app. Because I got the app controlled, I wonder if the 3-click still works. 1, 2, 3.
Works.
Yep. Okay. But at this point, we know it works.
Yes, it does.
So,
Both cell phone.
in the matter of, I mean, what time is it now? So about an hour for us to do it and record it.
Yeah.
Which,
And by us do it, it was, I just shoved the thing through there and he did everything else. And
yeah. I mean, it's definitely a one-person job if you're not recording it. So,
outside of the 5 takes that it took for us to look up the YouTube video of them doing it and then compare to what we did wrong.
but once again, if we weren't recording it, once again, if we weren't recording it, we'd be playing the video as we're hooking it up. So, I mean, take it with a grain of salt. You guys could probably do it quicker than I could because I'm videoing as I'm doing it. So I'm watching their video, making sure that I have the steps, realizing I don't have the steps, and then having to watch again. But overall,
Wait, you mean doing something without fully knowing how to do it? And
have you seen me at work? That's how this works.
I've seen your electrical. I know how that works.
That electrical looks okay. I did good there.
You know it's gonna be so bad as if that freaking clamp on the other side fails.
Well, luckily it'll still start and everything with that clamp failed.
That's true.
So that was my thing. I went ahead and tried out their clamp. It worked great. If in the future she's like, hey, the remote start stopped working, I drop that out, I'll solder that in, that's probably going to be our issue. But at this point it's working. It was quick and easy and I didn't have to do any soldering, which was part of the reason I got this kit. I don't want to cut the factory harness.
Fun part. Next week we're back to working on the truck. What will it be? I don't know. It may be the dash, maybe the tailgate, maybe wiring up a new cover for the back because that one keeps on exploding every time it rains.
And amongst that, we have other cars that need work too, so we'll see.
Oh, cars that need work. Oh, yes. That
The
does
Jetta,
need to go to a scrapyard.
Nah, the Jetta I need to put on a battery tender, see if that's why it's not starting right now. Honda needs new struts and an oil change. Truck needs new batteries. Your truck needs a bunch of stuff. The dump truck
does
needs...
not need a bunch of stuff.
some stuff. Dump truck needs a bunch of stuff. Okay, I think that's where we're going to end off this video. Thanks for joining us. If you liked watching this, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment down there. At least I'm smarter than he looks. That's all I'm saying.
That is a very low bar. Oh, don't stay safe. It's oh wait, no, I shouldn't say it. It's New Year's Eve day. New Year's Day. Tonight's New Year's Eve. You're not going to watch this today. Hopefully you weren't stupid and got a DUI and sat in jail for most of the night.